Michael Hathaway, what would you do if I told you that the LeBron James 2008 Chalk Toss card finished number 23 on the 25 and 25 countdown?
I would say that's a pretty fair ranking. I really love that card. That's actually pretty close to where I put it. I put it at 24.
Oh,
Yeah, so hey, not too bad. I love that card. It's a card where, listen, this is not the most important LeBron card in existence. It is not. Some people would even say it's not even the most important LeBron card in 2008 Topps Chrome because they'd say, what about the card with him and Kobe? But it's a card that's awesome. I love it from a as a photographer, like from a photography point of view. It is a gorgeous image. I mean, the way that they imply the grandeur of the moment, the way that they use the negative space, knowing that the refractor or X-fractor is going to fill it, is so great. And, obviously the chalk toss just adds like a little bit of atmosphere to it. And what I really love about that card is, at my old role at MC Sports Cards, doing a lot of our social media, I would send out our marketing content, and anytime that chalk toss card was featured, you would just see so much engagement on it. People would click that link, they would follow it, they would try and bid on those items, and like something about that card, everybody just sees it and goes, it's so cool, it's so fun. You combine that photography with the design, like 08 Chrome is just such a great set, that it is a card that no matter what your kind of concentration in collecting is, you look at that card and you say, I could put that in. It'll be in the back corner of the case, but I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to pull it out every now and again. Just, it makes you smile, which is really what cards are all about. So I think even though it doesn't necessarily fall into these tight categories that we like to collect in, it is a card that so often so many people will see and go, I love that card. So 20, what was it, 23? That makes sense to me. And also, hey, jersey number. We'll take it.
so rapid fire. What is more iconic, that or the Kobe card from the same year?
I feel like it's probably the Kobe card, just because of the fact
All
that
right.
you combine the star power, which is, again, I rank the Kobe card 25 because I just like the chalk toss. But I would say the Kobe is probably more iconic in the eyes of like most folks.
Okay. How important do you think it is that a card can be attainable like this card is, specifically in like base tops or tops chrome, but also be incredibly valuable at its highest ranking? How important do you think that is to being iconic?
I think that's super important. And I think that's why, as we talked about this list, you don't see like for Aaron Judge, we're talking about the, first Bowman Chrome. We're not talking about the definitive logo man from his rookie year, right? There is something about the accessibility of the card in its purest form that we like because of the fact that, listen, at the end of the day, we're all collectors and we all see this as an incremental long-term hobby. So I think a lot of people, when they look at a card that they want to chase, this is why we're so in love with parallels, is because it gives us such a clear ladder. It's why we're so obsessed with chasing half points of grade, because it gives us these clear ladders. So I think the fact that you can go from a, couple bucks base card raw to, the red of that would be, 5-6 figure card easy. And then, obviously you talk about the supers. Like those are those are true grails for any collector. I think it is nice that you have a card where there is, at any point in your collecting journey, you're desiring some version of it, right? And it starts out as a kid and you just want that, $5 copy. And then 10, 15 years down the line, you've made a little bit of money, you've done all right for yourself, and you go, you know what? I want a gold refractor. Like, it's going to be a push, but I want a gold. And I think that's really cool about cards from this era is they have that nice amount of parallels that make a reasonable chase.
I think it makes it so that they're identifiable to all groups as well, because some guys come into the hobby and they're like ready to spend, they're ready to go get big stuff, and they can look at it and they can say, why is this really expensive, and then why is this not? Whereas my son, if we pull out his collection right now, one of his best cards is the '08 Kobe with LeBron next to him, but it's the base tops card. Okay, so with all that said, the LeBron chalk toss finished number 19 amongst the community. Why did it finish 19 amongst the community, but amongst the experts it finished 29th? It's that's a pretty normal spread, honestly, on this list. Do you have any theory why that might have happened?
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, just given, like I said, having seen like the level of engagement that you can get on posts that have that chalk toss card. Like, people love it. And I do think that there is something about, as more seasoned members of the hobby, that expert panel are going to skew in certain directions. They're going to skew in a little bit maybe higher end cards or cards that fit, some of the tight categories that we look for. Whereas a community, I think you'll probably get a little bit of a broader view of people who just go, I just like cards. I like cool cards. And hey, I can afford a refractor and X-fractor, so I love this card.
Yeah, I love that answer. If we look at the whole of the community, there are definitely some cards that are lower end that are higher on the list there. Whereas the experts did more go for cards that are higher dollar cards, and part of that may be that they knew that their lists were going to be made public, and so I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, that's it. The LeBron chalk toss ends at number 23.